Hey everybody, this is Movie Versus Prequel episode 41.
Oh my god.
This is the podcast in defense of bad movies. My name is Tyler Lamb. That large, luscious gulp, because he's just so scared because we're in the middle of Hortober,
Tall drink of spooky water.
was Charlie Pixley. What's up, Chuck?
I don't know. I'm just weirded out because I'm not Steve right now.
I know.
Yeah.
I was the entire time I was waiting for him to introduce me, regardless of you being the one who drank.
Yeah, I was. Well, I had a little thing that I was cooking up because you did the gasp. You went, oh my god, or something like that.
Well.
So I mean, well, somebody who's just as spooked as Charlie is Stephen L. Janik.
Not my middle initial.
How's it going, Stephen?
It's going great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. So now that we got the cordials out of the way, on this podcast, well, specifically on these prequel episodes, we assign movies. I've got a little theme that I got cooking, kind of related
I'm sure
to
it's related to horror.
and also I kind of got the idea because Charlie, I thought I liked what your theme was last week, the remakes of classic horror movies.
Which, while we're on that topic, can I say I was thinking about this the other day?
No, you
Sure.
can't.
Okay, I was thinking about this the other day, and I think that how the breakdown of the scoring went for your thing, I think it actually exemplifies the two horror movies.
Sure.
Where like Halloween is more focused on the story and like the freakouts, where Jason's more like on just ridiculous kills and like goofy shit and nudity. And I mean, you swept the spooky, I swept the goofy, and then like we were kind of, I think it was kind of a coin toss on the kills.
Oh, I thought you were about to break into song and dance. Like, you
Yeah.
swept the spooky, I swept the goofy. What will they think of next?
Cancel the band. but that's just what I was thinking.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It's fine that you think
No,
that.
I mean, like, that makes sense. Because Halloween is pretty spooky to me, whereas Friday the 13th doesn't really spook me out, but it's still very enjoyable, just in a different way for me.
Mm-hmm. This may be a shorter prequel, because I feel like we don't really have much to talk. None of us have really
I got things to say.
None of us have really seen any movies.
I think I'm seeing Kingsman tomorrow. But
Oh, you are?
maybe.
Yeah. I'll probably see Blade Runner this weekend, but yeah.
Hopefully we'll see it at some point.
Yeah, but other than that, kind of dry on the fronts there. But let's just go straight into what I got planned. So I decided to go with I looked up classic horror directors, so like famous horror directors, and I tried
First projects.
No, I tried to find because actually a lot of those, like their first project, that because it was some of them are so long ago, their first project was the one that made them who they are. And I took classic horror directors and looked at more like modern films that they did, so like recent ones. And actually, it kind of like unfortunately turned out this way. But both of the guys that I picked, the directors I picked, ended up picking are like just recently, like within the past year or two, have died. So that was
super spooky.
Well, and also it was kind of they've been dead for 10
so
years.
we're watching their house that they died in overnight.
Yeah, you have to stay there for a night. It's actually kind of, there's not many like prolific horror directors out there. Like the list is not very at least notable that I would be able to list out their names. The most recent one is probably just James Wan.
Yeah.
And Sam Raimi. But, like, even then, Sam Raimi hasn't really directed that many horror movies. He's produced a lot, but he hasn't directed
And he's more
a
well
lot.
known for, like, Spider-Man at this
Yeah,
point.
and also the horror movies he's done ended up just becoming pretty campy. Like, they're all this, like, tongue-in-cheek horror.
Right.
But, yeah, and James Wan, who did, Insidious and Fast and Furious 7, was it?
And he's doing Aquaman.
And Aquaman, yeah. Spooky. That was lightning strike.
Oh, I was doing it through water.
And so do you guys want to know the directors first, or the movies?
I want to know the directors because it's almost guaranteed that I will not be able to link them with the movies.
Okay, so the directors, I'll actually tell you who got what director.
Okay.
So Steve, and actually I have a reason. So Steve, I gave you Wes Craven.
Oh wow, I know Wes Craven.
That's why I gave you Wes Craven, because it's going to tie to questions that I have come next week. And I figured that you would be more well versed with Wes Craven than you are with George A. Romero.
Okay.
And that's you, Charlie.
I know a little bit about George A. Romero.
And I feel like, Charlie, you've seen at least, probably 3 of the Dead movies,
Out of the, 20?
Yeah. You've probably seen Night of the Living, Day of, and
These are the classic.
Is Dawn the other
Dawn.
one?
Yeah, Dawn.
Yeah, these are the classic ones, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
pretty
that's
much.
That's what I thought.
Dawn of the Dead was the one in the mall, right?
I can honestly.
Well, Dawn of the Dead, the remake,
was Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
so that's the one that was in the mall.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys get those directors.
I've seen Night of the Living.
And Steve, the name of your movie is called My Soul to Take.
Ooh.
And it came out in the 2000s. I think
sure
the mid-2000s.
You sure that's an S and not an H?
Yes.
God, please
Damn
let it be an S.
My whole to take. And Charlie, you get another notch on that.
My whole to give.
You get another notch on that Living Dead belt, because you're seeing Survival of the Dead, which is actually the final movie. I think it might have been the last movie that Romero directed. And also another caveat was it had to be one that they wrote and directed.
Oh, okay.
Because they're both known to be writer-directors, and there were some that were poorly rated that say Wes Craven only directed.
Yeah.
And so I made sure it had to be, these...
Written, and that's cool.
So...
Man, this is a good one. You guys have done great.
Yeah, so don't fuck it up.
Oh my god, I'm totally gonna fuck it up.
So again...
You both... Never mind.
Charlie, you get the first half of the Emoji Movie, and Tyler, you get the second half. But you're not allowed to watch either half. And then he's just gonna make us write like what we think the other half is, which I guess I already know, so it's not fair. So again, Steve, you get My Soul to Take, written and directed by Wes Craven. And Charlie, you get Survival of the Dead, written and directed by George A. Romero.
And these both meet criteria?
It's actually Romero.
These both... It's Romeo.
Yeah, you're right.
George A. Romeo.
Oh, shit.
No wonder he passed away.
Man of many hats.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, don't you remember his role in Tokyo Drift, dude, where he was like selling iPods and laptops?
Was Bow Wow?
Bow Wow,
shit,
man.
damn it!
Fuck.
You just got schooled on Fast and Furious by me.
Which one? So then, Little Romeo was the kid of what's his name?
Vin
Master
Diesel.
P?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my bad. I'm
Tyler,
bad
put that gun down.
I'm bad at. I guess I'm worse at what was it?
Rap snacks.
Well, I was gonna say the late '90s child hip hop stars with little in front of their name. I'm not as good as I thought I was.
And you thought you were the best.
Yeah, I know. I need to reevaluate a lot lot of things.
I haven't touched up your resume.
I have some posters to tear down in my room.
Make sure you get the right one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, now it makes sense why that one that I thought was incorrectly labeled and I crossed out the name and wrote the...
Wow, I can't believe they misprinted on this movie poster.
Better edit it myself. So yeah, let's. I got those
this
trailers.
Movie poster's racist.
And then I turn and look in a mirror. No, it was me
Single
the whole time. So I got these trailers queued up. Let's go ahead and dive on in. So we just saw those trailers. We ended on a high note, I would say, with some sick soundtrack for the
for our podcast even.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna edit that out. That's not gonna be in there. Were you talking about me singing in the mic like I was doing?
No, I meant one, as in it's a game where one of us is going down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. We should. Yeah, that should be the segment, the start of the verdict.
Probably in an
segment.
earlier round.
I would say after any time somebody makes a point.
It's a soundboard. We just hit a button. No, it's the one segment where he just says, "I'm not running," and that's it. The
For those of you who are completely confused,
the Wes Craven trailer had a song for one. The song was "One of Us Is Going Down" by the fucking Sick Puppies, brah, and yeah, so we were just kind of giving it the shits. Yeah, so those trailers. And future, by the way, I guess I'll sizzle this. We're gonna actually no, I'm not gonna sizzle that. No, I'll cut that out.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Steve?
I was gonna start talking about the trailers a little bit.
Yeah.
On my movie, My Soul to Take, I believe.
Yeah.
What it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like
Wes Craven made it.
Yeah, it's like it's very actiony. There were explosions and car jumps.
It looks. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't think it looks bad. I think it's an interesting concept of seven people who were born around the same time as a serial killer in the town, and they
were born the same day that
he died.
I thought it was the day he killed 7 people.
No, it was the day that he died.
Oh.
The day that he was so like the idea is that his soul is inhabiting one of them. I think it's gonna be. Pre-spoiler, I think he's going to be inhabiting all of them.
Well,
I think he's going to be jumping around and using the best one to kill.
You know that one of them is going down. So
to me, it looked bland as hell because at the end it got a little bit better when they started showing like some weirder stuff.
That Sick Puppy song.
But it was like it looked like the worst parts of a supernatural like villain and the worst parts of just a human villain, and that he just looked like a hobo, like a homeless person with a knife, and like that's not really. Like,
that's true. That's a good point.
And
I can go see that downtown.
That is a turnaround from Wes Craven's. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street and and Scream, even both pretty original concepts.
Oh, super!
And their look and what they and
when it comes down to it,
Absolutely.
it's almost like a mashup of the two of them.
Yeah.
Let's take the worst parts from this one and the worst parts from this one.
And
but
I think
he was thinking they were the best.
I honestly think, though, what you said about the trailer not looking like a Wes Craven movie, I think that can be said about Survival of the Dead. It also does not look like a Wes Craven movie. No, great joke. No,
it's true. You're not wrong.
It doesn't look like a George A. Romero movie. Like I don't know. It just looked.
It might not even look like a movie after I see it.
I don't know. The trailer kind of made me think of 28 Days Later, though.
Yeah.
Just kind of like I don't know the way it was lit and things like that. Just like that.
It's lit as fuck, dude.
Just like
Steve, you may be old, but you still know what's lit. You can still tell when something's lit.
It's so hard for me not to. I feel it in my boat. Like when something is lit, when something is lit, I get this pain in my right knee.
Well, that's why you have those. You carry around those 2 pictures of the fire emojis with you because, no, it's like business.
Those are just the 2 that you
Sorry,
can see.
they're just business cards that you hand out whenever something's lit. You can give it to somebody.
That would be pretty sweet.
And you've also got one that has the 100 emoji.
It's because the fidget spinners were just too bulky.
I think for my movie, it easily, with the lighthearted soundtrack behind it, it could have looked like a really shitty parody of zombie movies because they had the horseback riding scene and the guy that was like, "Come on out to the island."
Yeah.
I think
the dude had prepped on his phone, ready to go.
I think the problem with George A. Romero that he probably faced was being pretty much the godfather of the zombie movie in more ways than one. Because Night of the Living Dead. Insane. Then I mean, Dawn of the Dead, that was crazy too. And then Day of the Dead, I think it is when they're underground. Is that Day of the Dead?
I think so.
That one is also like they're all different and like did different things for the genre. And then he like didn't make a movie for a while, enough that when he came back, it just felt like he was then like. His methods had been used so often by the time he came back that it was like, oh, this just kind of feels like another generic thing. But it's one of those. It's kind of like the whole Seinfeld isn't funny thing, where it's like it's influenced so much that when you go back to it, it's now like. But in this case, it's the person who did the influencing is going back to it, and so you're like, yeah, I mean, this is part of the course.
We get it.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's
we get it. We're the monster.
We're the Walking Dead. But yeah, they both looked pretty bad.
Yes, they did.
I'm gonna have sick ambulance jumps though. So
yeah, it's true.
Get prepped, Charlie. If he takes a horse off a ramp, you better write that shit down.
Man, that's gonna have to be a question. Maybe did a horse go off a ramp?
If only it was that Bollywood movie where that guy's riding that horse and he dips it on its side and slides under a train and kicks it back up.
Yeah,
that scene is so good.
Man, I bet you that whole movie's amazing.
Probably not.
But yeah, so Steve is seeing the Wes Craven written and directed film My Soul to Take from 2010. And Charlie's seen the George A. Romero written and directed film
I don't remember what
Survival of the Dead
okay.
from 2009.
Sure.
And with that being settled and cemented and all that jazz, guys, do you have anything else to talk about, or are we going straight into stuff we like?
We might be going. I haven't seen a movie this week.
Yeah, I haven't really done shit.
I guess I have seen The Kingsman already.
Nah. I think it's. Did you like it?
I did.
Okay.
I'll just
people who want. I think that Three Wise covered it enough.
Right.
On a previous podcast, I think that if you want to go check it out, listen to Three Wise Radio. They've got an episode where they cover it pretty extensively. I don't think one person talking about it, especially this, it's late enough in the game. I don't think.
I mean, it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. So other than that, so Steve, what something?
What were your top 5 favorite scenes from?
Well,
yeah, describe them in full, please.
Well, oddly enough, the entire movie was only 5 scenes, so strap in.
Grab that dry erase board while you're at it and do some.
You got the yarn.
Yeah. So Steve, what is something that you actually like? If this is what you were talking about to me.
It is.
Okay.
It is. So this is.
I might have to cut you off on some stuff then if you ramble too much.
I'm not going to ramble too much.
Okay.
So my friend came to me and said, "Hey guys, my friend is part of the competitive Smash Brothers scene in the Melee version, and a former player, a guy who's retired, who is now doing some programming. And he's done a lot of work.
Mystery? I didn't know he retired.
No.
Sorry.
Mystery.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I'm not doing that. So
he was like a dating the guy who's like the peacocking stuff. And,
yeah, he did
and he had a show on VH1.
Yeah.
Where
called like The Pickup Artist or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Which
he wrote
was
a book called The Pickup Artist. I watched it because
it was hilarious.
Yeah, I watched some of it too. It's pretty funny.
A beautiful.
He would wear like a top hat that's like feathered and like suede, and like a cane and a huge, and that was a part of his thing. He's like, you got a peacock, and
he looked like an extra from a Panic at the Disco.
And so,
gotcha.
And so like to explain my joke, because that's. I've been told that's what
all
makes
good comedians do.
Yeah, exactly. My joke was that Steve said he was a player, and I'm saying, Mystery was a player.
Okay, I honestly didn't catch it either. So, anyway, this guy was in the competitive Smash Brothers scene, and now he's doing programming. And so my friend who was also in that scene said, "Hey guys, play this game that this guy I know made. It's really interesting. Be cautioned. It is a dating simulator.
It's an anime dating simulator. That's what you told me.
It is an anime. So basically, the characters are anime, and basically you talk like you're at school. God,
I was like that as well, Charlie. Charlie was shaking his hand with a disgusted face. I would say that I'm actually. Steve, I'm
not into that kind of game. He was just like, you got to play. Like I only played this game because this guy made it.
Yeah, and Steve, I would say Steve told me pretty much everything about this game. And it has an interesting concept of the fact that
it's very meta, as all I'm going to say.
And it does stuff like
Why do you keep trying to stop yourself from throwing up?
It takes a interesting turn, and then that turn, then the reason the programming guy wanted to the game itself like deletes things from the game.
Yeah,
and it's not like a it doesn't sound like a normal dating, like it sounds like a
you're not at no point is there ever like a naked character. There are some like awkward compromising positions at times where you're like, okay, this is
Are there any teehees?
Oh, definitely teehees.
Well, I was gonna say without the teehees, I was gonna say it sounds a little too real.
Yeah.
There's no naked characters and it's nothing but awkward situations.
But the game takes a real interesting turn. There is a disclaimer that says should not be played by children or those that are easily disturbed.
Also no nudes.
Disclaimer. But in general,
it'd be more like ooh tee. Yeah, covered.
In general, you should follow those rules. I would recommend it. It's a very interesting game. In the beginning, I was real bored and I thought it was lame. And then there was like some interesting character development because it's centered around a club at school that follows literature. So there's like you make poems and like you get a lot of information about these 4 characters and their home life and stuff based on their poems. And so it actually like there is a lot of development, a lot of interesting stuff.
And you said it was pretty short too.
Yeah, me and my friends, we played it together.
With their pants off.
It took us like 8 hours in total, but we were all like we kind of made a joke out of it. Like each of us took a character and we like spoke the lines out loud.
That's
and
cute.
No, that sounds like it'd be fun.
Like we kind of made it a whole goofy thing, and then we just like played it out, and it was fun. But like if you were playing it on your own by yourself, you could probably knock it out in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Easy.
And also, most importantly, you said it was free.
Yeah, completely free.
And I think it's on Steam.
Yeah, it is on Steam.
So, and what was the name of it again?
The name is called DokiDoki Literature Club.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it on anything else or no?
I think you can just download it online. Like go to a website.
Like he has his own, by chance
website
it's on like consoles or anything.
Yeah, I got you.
I actually don't know. It's kind of weird because it's mostly just like a click through. Like I don't think
there's a lot more that you have to go through to get a game on consoles to download than it is to, I think some console. I don't know if you can do free downloads.
Yeah,
like unless it's. I mean, Xbox has the games of the month, but I don't know if they have just full games that are for free. I think if it's on the store, it has to be like at least $1 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was a real interesting game, and if you like weird meta type things, I mean, I would recommend it. I don't expect anyone sitting with me to play, and that's fine. But it was an interesting time, and I'm glad I played it.
Yeah. Charlie?
All right, I would say I have 2 things, which I know. I never get to do 2 things, or I never just have 2 things ready. I never have 1 thing ready, so I'm going to do 2 this time. First, I sent to the group message that cereal that I was excited about last time was back.
The Frosted Flakes.
Chocolate Frosted Flakes with a skeleton.
I've never been into Frosted Flakes.
Skeleton marshmallows
when you
were
sent
real good.
When you sent that picture this morning, I literally almost got out of bed and just drove to the store to buy some.
You literally almost got out of bed.
Yeah. And then he's like, nope. And then he stayed there till he came here. Which is just in his dining room.
Yeah, exactly. It's in his bedroom.
Yeah.
He just had to get up to set everything up. Okay, so not only that, so the Frosted Flakes cereal.
Yeah, my other thing is that I'm sticking to my goal this time. Now I'm on Comic Book Movie, and I see all these Justice League TV spots, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Which is big for me, because normally it's like, there's 3 new seconds of footage in this one.
I think I'm kind of with you with that. After that most recent trailer, I'm kind of going dark. It's easy. It's also easier for me because I don't have cable or anything, so I don't ever see trailers.
Mine's just from Comic Book Movie, and I'm just like, no,
I don't
know.
And then also another thing that it's only been a couple days at this point, but I'm still kind of proud of myself. I'm going completely dark on the Last Jedi stuff.
That's what I was gonna mention afterwards.
Unless
you took it from me.
Unless I'm at a movie theater and it plays. Because I am too lazy to get up and leave the theater and come back,
That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, exactly.
You could miss vital seconds of the cold open.
Yeah, exactly. So I because Rian Johnson said, "Hey, I recommend you do not see this trailer," and I like Rian Johnson's movies, so and I can respect a director's like vision, if that makes sense, especially in this context, because he wasn't a part of editing the trailer. He just saw it before it was put out, and if he's like, I'd rather people go in not seeing this trailer. And I've talked to people who've seen it, and I'm like, I'm not watching it, and they're like, oh, really, why not? And I'm like, because the director says it reveals too much, and they're like, yeah, it kind of does. And so I'm like, okay, well then you're just cementing my opinion.
I'm really glad I haven't watched it.
I haven't seen it yet, because as I was going to go on about, the only thing though is I have read people like talking about it, not in detail, just like what they thought, and they said like it's clearly there's a lot of misdirection in it too, from what people
that's
said.
What I've heard. I've heard there's misdirection, and it reveals a lot. And then I've also seen an image of like some
Luke Skywalker's chopped off head,
some animal character, because I know.
Yeah, they've been promoting that in sets for like the last year.
I hadn't seen it until there was a prequel meme about like that had Jar Jar in it, and it was like also had this one from the new trailer that I assume it was in the new trailer, but I don't know
behind the scenes footage of them. I think they're called I won't.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I was just like, oh, that must be in the new trailer. But yeah, so you like that you're not watching Justice League stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of.
That trailer,
and then with Star Wars too, it's like, fuck, we're so close.
That trailer just came out. We all saw the Justice League trailer,
but
correct?
For both the movies, fuck, dude, they're less than like 2 months away, right?
Yeah, November 12th for Justice League. Or is it 20? Or is it like 27th?
I think, or something.
It's either the 10th or the 17th because
it's in November.
Because the third,
well, then December like 15th for Star Wars.
It's December 17th for Star Wars, and it's because it's my last final.
Okay,
like it's the day. Yeah. Actually, I don't have a final on that Friday, but it's my finals week is when Star Wars comes out. But Justice League should be like the 16th or something because Thor comes out on the 2nd, I believe.
Yeah. That's I wonder how much longer until I'm sure right now we're all like, oh, I can't see it happening, but until we're just kind of blown out of Star Wars and DC stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because it's happened with Marvel. For me, at least. I'm kind of just like, Like, I mean, the movies are still good, but I'm just like, okay, I saw Spider-Man, it was fine. Like, I'm not clamoring to go watch it again. But I'm not going to tell somebody it was bad because it wasn't. Like, and it's just like, every time you see that kind of movie, it's like, okay, well, that was that again. And then I think that DC right now is riding off of the fact that it's a new set of heroes and it's been a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how long that'll last. And then I'm also wondering with Star Wars. I mean, with us, I know Steve, you liked it more than us probably, but with Rogue One, it was already kind of like, okay. And then like I'm kind of going into 8 with that. I'm more
pumped about this though, because at least it'll be new and it's a continuation. So it's I'm with you on that. But then I get parts of the, especially with Star Wars. Star Wars is a big culprit of this. The social media hype. So you see everybody posting about it all the time. So then you're just like, you're kind of like overblown with that. So then you're just like, oh my gosh, like everybody's always talking about this. Like
you know how when someone posts a video that someone else has posted, it like consolidates it shows the video and then it shows like everybody that posted it below it.
Yes.
I was on Facebook on my computer and I was just scrolling down just through everybody that posted it like after it. I was like, gee, I'm glad that these aren't individual posts that I'm having to go through.
Yeah, it's something where it's like it's almost like I'm thinking, okay, movie just come out already, and it's one of those. It also feels like one of those things where, like, Breaking Bad used to be it. Game of Thrones is probably it now. When somebody is like, you should watch this,
or
you
die.
Should, like they keep telling you should watch it, and then like for some reason that makes you want to watch it less. Like, for some weird reason, that's like in your mind, you're like, well, and no, fuck that. And so, like, seeing more posts about it, I'm like, man, now I feel like everybody's telling me I should go watch this movie. And I'm feeling that's how I felt, especially about the last one. And I keep this in mind with 8, because with 7, I know, Charlie, I told you about this. I was pretty much complacent. My hype reset itself before the movie came out, and I honestly couldn't be fucked to go see that movie. But then and I was working in a movie theater when it came out, and the night it came out, I had to work like overnight because it was the night fucking Star Wars came out.
Right, so you guys were slammed.
Yeah, and for some reason, I asked one of the workers working the ticket booth or whatever. I was like, "Hey," like as I got off, there was a showtime, and so I was like, "Hey, is there an open seat in the IMAX for this time?" And they were like, "Oh, yeah, actually there is." And it was like one of the perfect seats in the theater. And I was just like, and all of a sudden...
Somebody must have gotten in a car accident or something then.
Yeah, exactly. And all of a sudden, like, everything, all cylinders, I was like a fucking hype machine in that moment. I was like, holy fuck, I'm about to go see fucking Star Wars. Like a new Star, like, and I was like,
"Jeez, why don't you just sustain that feeling for half a year ahead of a movie coming out?"
Well, no, and that's what I'm thinking when I'm seeing these posts of 8. I'm like, wait, hold on. Remember how you felt before, like right before you went into seeing 7? You fucking sprinted up those steps. You ended up seeing it like 5 times in theater. Like, then again,
why'd you sprint up the steps?
Because when I got off, they were already starting like trailers and stuff. So
gotcha.
I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
I feel like I gotta get to my seat.
Well, yeah, it was.
I know, but if it was Maria Menounos talking to you about popcorn or something, like I gotta get there.
Come on, you got plenty of time. She's telling you to go to the lobby and get yourself a treat.
It's true. But yeah, so I just got to keep that in mind to be like, hold on, no, you saw this movie. I mean, granted, every time I watched it in theaters, I saw it for free because it was while I was still working at that movie theater.
Nice.
And every single time it wasn't a legitimate IMAX because it was when I was in LA, and that was. But I just got to keep that in mind to be like, hold on, no. You do really, really like this series. I even kind of like the prequels. but yeah, so yeah. What were we talking about? Why did I go on this rant?
Because we didn't watch the Star Wars trailers.
That's right.
So that would make it your thing you
That's
actually
true.
like.
So everybody gets to hear me talk even more. What everybody loves the best.
Yeah, I'm done, I guess.
That's what
things I actually like. Listening to Tyler.
That's what all of the comments and every feedback,
handwritten letters.
Yeah, all feedback we get about the podcast. Tyler should talk more. So yeah, one
Tyler,
thing.
you were raising the NTs
signed
off those.
Me.
Why does this say signed me? Tyler, did you write that? So something that I actually like is I think last week I specifically mentioned the Switch that I just bought. Was it that I specifically mentioned, or did I specifically mention Zelda?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I think I talked about the Switch as like a secondhand thing that I really like because I just bought one. And I'm going to say that Breath of the Wild, the Zelda game, and if I did already mention that, I'm just going to go ahead and say Mario Kart as well. Like, they're so much fun. And like I'll take the Switch with me to work, and on my lunch break I'll do just a straight hour of Breath of the Wild, just knocking shit out, just exploring. And what's that?
I was gonna ask, is the cartridge in the Switch mobile thing, or is it
the cartridge? Yeah, the cartridge is in the screen of the Switch.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it's at the top.
So is it in there at all times? Like you never put it in the Switch system at all?
Well, the system of the Switch is that screen.
Okay.
That's the entire system. That dock is literally just a charger and a thing that puts it on the TV.
Oh.
Yeah. The console is that screen.
Oh.
Like everything besides the controllers are in that.
Never mind then.
It's like a PSP but good.
Yeah, or a 3DS but bigger. Yeah,
gooder.
Bigger and more powerful. And yeah, so I mean I'll knock out an hour of, my whole lunch break of just Breath of the Wild, and then I'll come home and...
What are you talking about? I've heard what you do at work. I'm joking. Tyler is a model employee.
Apparently, that's what I've been told.
You're a
to
model?
my surprise, yeah, I'm a model of employees.
Oh wow!
And
Stock
then,
photo, okay?
yeah, and then I get home, and after everything's kind of settled, after getting home, getting situated,
I immediately play for 18 more.
Well, no,
hours.
it's almost like me and landlord Kevin look at each other and just like Mario Kart, Mark, and we just hop on Mario Kart.
I can confirm they play Mario Kart for large periods of time.
And it's just so much fun. It's been a couple weeks and it still hasn't gotten old yet. And then in a couple weeks, I probably got another stuff I actually like coming out with Mario Odyssey. So
don't waste it now.
Keep your ears out for me saying that I will love that game because I feel like I'm going to.
I like just that the trailer for that game makes me want to buy a Switch
makes
for that
you
game.
Makes you fucking cream in your jeans.
No.
Do a little creamy.
No.
So the games that I have for my Switch are things that I actually like. That's what it sounds like, exactly. And weirdly enough, that's the sound that the Switch makes when I turn it on.
That's not.
Or when it turns you on.
Oh, it all makes sense now. But yeah, other than that, I guess Steve just has some plugs to throw out there.
Let's see, what do we got here? We've got, like we talked about, the Three Wise Media. If you want to listen to them about the old Kingsman movie, like we talked about, go ahead and check out. Was it their most recent one? Or
I think it was a couple episodes ago.
A few episodes ago.
Their most recent one, they covered
Liam Neeson, Gerard Butler, and Geostorm.
Well, no, they just came out with one that I was just even fucking listening to. Oh, Blade Runner. They talk about the original Blade Runner movie.
I'm on the old one then.
Yeah, last week they did Geostorm.
They
talked about the hype of Geostorm. Geostorm's not out yet.
Well, it was part one of their Geostorm hype.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like I said, Three Wise Media, then Good, Bad, or Bad, as well as This Film is Lit.
Yes.
Beyond the Blast Doors, our Dungeons and Dragons affiliate of Critical Misadventure.
Yes, Critical Misadventure. I think those are all the little podcast plugs.
And as always, thanks to Scott Blackwell for our images.
Logo. It's fucking beautiful. Again, we haven't mentioned this in a while. Rate and review us on iTunes or whatever. If your podcast player allows you to rate, you don't even have to type a review. If you just throw out a rating, it helps out a lot. Like, if you just go into your app and I think in the iTunes app for iPhones, the podcast app, you actually have to like go to the page of the podcast. You can't just go into your like listening thing. You have to just search us up. But I'm pretty sure now you can just literally tap the 5-star thing. Well, if you think we're 5 stars, but you can just tap the star rating.
No, please.
You don't
tap
even have
5 stars.
You don't even.
That's how you access the rating feature.
And
you have to hit the 5-star.
That's how you access the secret extra podcast.
The dark web.
Where we, the nether of the realm. But that's if you just you can tap the star rating, and I think it's kind of an automatic thing. You don't even have to type out a review.
Nope.
And it's pretty easy, and it helps us out a lot because it puts us on the chart in some way so that people can see us more and then more people can listen to us and then you got more people
gonna have as much fun as you are now,
and then you got more people to interact with on the Facebooks because we got people on the Facebooks, and I feel like I missed a comment recently. I think Ian, did I mention how Ian got at you, Steve, about the manga stuff?
No, yeah, you talked. It wasn't on the cast, but you talked to me about it.
Yeah, so Ian kind of did a whole thing getting at Steve trying to be a weeb.
It was the early days. We had no idea about fan scams at the time. Like it wasn't a thing that was even talked about really. We were drowning.
Yeah.
We just need a little air.
Should have swam to the butt, man.
And then, so yeah, I mean, if you guys throw comments up on there, I mean, we'll interact with you. Honestly, I enjoyed seeing comments, and I like interacting with people that listen to us and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Me too.
Yeah, so go ahead and You got a comment? I mean, even if it's just telling us that we're wrong about something, or I mean,
sure.
we even had a fucking little contest to make fun of us. Like you can tell us we're fuckheads.
I know.
Like,
friend of the
it.
podcast who has made some comments. Mike Bell. Like there are times. There are times where
you're both looking at me, so fuck that guy.
there are times where he like messages me on Facebook where he's like, Steve, you're wrong about this. I was like, damn it, stop it.
Hey, Mike,
post it on the page.
Yeah,
no, he did. He did that one time.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, I know he did a lot of comments, and I don't know. I mean, we probably didn't reply to every single one, but
because you can't be bothered for him.
Oh, exactly. But even if we don't like sit there and reply to every comment, I mean, legitimately, like seeing some type of interaction is always cool. And I mean, especially from people that we've never even met before, we don't know, like it's a lot of fun, and it's nice knowing that people find enjoyment out of this. So, guys, I'm crying.
I agree.
I'm too.
Yeah, but why are your eyes dry?
Oh, I thought you cry out of your penis.
Not literally. Not everything is about your penis, Tyler. Why do we have to always go over this?
But what?
Bye.
Movie Versus is a production of 3 Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.